The coins alert is where everything in this video comes from. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to my station to get more XRP news and news about cryptocurrencies in general. Look at this now. Garlinghouse and Larsen sign up. This will help top lawyers get charges dropped. Now, before we go any further, there is a new crypto airdrop going on Telegram that will soon start. Make sure that you take part in this airdrop. Just below the movie, there is a link. Do not miss this. Let's watch more of our movie. The Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) has asked the Second Circuit Court to set January 15th, 2025 as the due date for its main appeals brief. At the same time, Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larsen hire lawyers to try to get the claims in the XRP lawsuit thrown out. The Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) recently filed an appeal against both Garlinghouse and Larsen, alleging that they broke securities law. As the court battle between Ripple Labs and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission goes on, Brad Garlinghouse, Chris Larsen, and other leaders at Ripple have taken smart steps to fight the charges the SEC has brought against them. There was a legal battle between Ripple and the Securities and Exchange Commission in 2020, and it hit a turning point in July 2023. At that time, District Judge Annalisa Torres said that Ripple's sales of XRP to institutions were an illegal offering of securities. She came to the conclusion that sales to retail customers did not meet the standards for being called securities based on the Howey test. After this decision, the Securities and Exchange Commission (Q) filed an appeal the week before to try to challenge and remove some parts of the judge's decision. In answer to what the SEC says, executives at Ripple do something. Matthew Solomon is one of the top lawyers that Garlinghouse and Larsen have hired. He works for Cleary Gottlieb and is famous for being an expert in financial law. In their bet, the Securities and Exchange Commission says that Ripple's XRP coin was sold as an unregistered asset. They want to refute these claims. At the same time, the Securities and Exchange Commission made a request that the Second Circuit Court set January 15, 2025 as the due date for its main brief on the appeals. This makes it look like the Securities and Exchange Commission is getting ready to move forward with its plan to take legal action against Ripple. John Deaton, a lawyer who works with XRP holders, sent in his paperwork for the case even though he wasn't admitted as an attorney. Even though he can be a part of talks, he might not be able to officially defend the person during the appeals process. Chris Larsen is no longer being represented by the law company Rifkin Wharton Garrison, which is run by Paul Weiss. They have officially ended their relationship with him. The appeals court told the co-founder that he had not submitted a notice of attendance, which is required for court hearings, on the same day that this change was made. With Paul Weiss's resignation as CEO of Ripple, Larsen will now be protected by the same group of lawyers who defended him before. This newly formed team is made up of lawyers from Cleary Gottlieb. A big win was already made by the legal team, which is made up of lawyers from Cleary Gottlieb. They got all the charges against Ripple's CEO Brad Garlinghouse in the lawsuit brought by the CC thrown out. There is also a dispute going on between Ripple and the police over what exactly an investment contract is. The company says that there must be a written contract in order for there to be a business contract. Duties after the sale from the seller and earnings that depend on how hard the seller works. Because of these changes in the law, the price of XRP went up by 1% in just 24 hours, and it is now worth about $5,255. This was in addition to the fact that the trade volume of XRP increased by 61 times the day before, reaching a total of $972 million. These numbers show that buyers are becoming more interested in engaging. Ripple Labs is being sued in a case that has been going on for a while. On October 30th, the courts in California will highlight this case. That the request for entry of final judgment and stay that was sent by the parties has been received by Judge Phyllis Hamilton. Judge Phyllis, on the other hand, asked the parties to think about another option, filing a voluntary rejection without prejudice of the remaining individual claim, with the option of filing it again after the appeal on the class claims has been decided. The statement says, Bitcoin is used by experts to trade with IC markets. You take a big risk with your money when you trade swaps. Because of this, you should only trade with money that you can afford to lose. Also, trading derivatives might not be right for all buyers. Making sure you fully understand the risks is very important. If you need to, you should get outside advice. Should you want to do business with us, you should think about getting a product disclosure statement. You can do this through this website or by calling our offices. Raw spread accounts give you a spread. The judge's order said that the parties should send in an updated proposed order if they were ready to accept this other settlement. On the other hand, the parties must let the court know by November 4th, 2024, if they are not willing to accept this alternative settlement. The case against Ripple is still very important for XRP and the market for cryptocurrencies as a whole. Investors were interested in the court ruling that came out this week. but the main focus is still on the ongoing dispute between the SEC and Ripple. Investors are looking at the papers that the SEC and Ripple have made about their appeals to see how strong their claims are. There is a big challenge being made by the SEC against the decision about automated sales of XRP. The ruling made by Judge and Elicitor in July 2023 says that programmatic sales of XRP do not meet the third part of the Howey test at all. If the SEC is able to get the decision overturned, U.S. cryptocurrency platforms may take XRP off their lists. This would change the number of adoptions and the way prices change. This is because the SEC would have control over exchanges that keep listing XRP. The opening brief for the appeal must be submitted by January 15, 2025, which is just a few days before the President of the United States takes office. If Trump wins on November 5th, there may be rumors that the SEC will decide not to sue the appeal on his first day in office. Trump promised to fire Gary Gensler, who is the head of the Securities and Exchange Commission. It would be good for XRP and the market as a whole to end the high level of control that SEC Chair Gensler has been using through enforcement and appeal. On Wednesday, October 30th, the price of XRP went down by 1.2, which was a partial reverse of a gain of 1.72 the previous session. It was worth 52 cents at the end of the day. XRP ended a winning streak that ran 4 days, which is interesting because it did worse than the rest of the cryptocurrency market. The value of all cryptocurrencies on the market has gone down by 0.50% to $2 trillion. There is a chance that XRP could break through the important $0.55 barrier if the odds of Trump winning the U.S. presidential election keep going up. The information given is not meant to be taken as trade advice. Any purchases made based on the information on this page are not the responsibility of the people who made them.